Going up. How you feel, babe? How do you feel?
Exhausted.
Bet you do. Working so hard. The meds are keeping you up at night, huh? All them hot flashes? Well, proud of you. You're sticking it out. Hey friends, Tisha here. We are here in the hallway that's right over, okay, somewhere. Obviously I have bad sense of direction, but over there is where we're about to go in and retrieve the egg. So wish us luck. Those of you who've been praying for us, thank you so much. I really feel a lot more at peace in the journey and where we're at in this. So just continue to lift us up and we'll give you an update soon. Bye. Hey friends, Tisha here. I just wanted to give you guys an update, kind of tell you what's been going on, and also just to thank you. Thank you so much for everybody who has been lifting me up in prayer and encouragement. Those of you who's reached out to me on YouTube, comments, messages, Facebook, text messages, phone calls, everything. I've really felt a lot of love and support, and I felt, you know, you guys are carrying me through this process, and I thank you so much for that, because this journey is hard and it's lonely, and you guys just comforted me so much. So thank you. That last video before the Gonal F one, which was a hot mess, but the other one, it was really hard to make. I wasn't expecting to cry. I was just expecting to coast through and give you the update. But you know, this journey's real and it's hard, and that was a hard moment for me. So I'm going to try very hard not to cry today, because I just don't do that emotion well. That emotion is just so foreign to me. Anytime I feel sadness like that, I always try to think of something happy and positive and try to redirect my mind and attention to something else. But this right here, I have never, ever had or experienced anything that has shaken me so deeply. I've never had anything that has caused me such pain and sadness as this journey. And so not only am I trying to deal with this journey, but I'm trying to deal with this emotion that is so new. So just bear with me. We're going to have good days, we're going to have bad days, and I'm trying to work through both. Now stress, I got that down packed. I can stress like no other, but crying and sadness is just not something that I do well. So anyways, if I cry, please just bear with me or fast forward. So what happened? So after I gave you that news about doing the frozen transfer, I began to do research, and I just saw there's two perspectives on this. Some people say it's better to do frozen transfer, that you have a higher success rate, and some say no, it's about the same. I'm going to go with the higher just because I want to stay positive. So when we got up Friday ready to go into transfer, I was excited. I didn't have fear. I wasn't anxious. I wasn't scared. I wasn't regretful of doing the fresh transfer, although my doctor had said, you know, we may end up doing it. I haven't told you guys, but I think it was Friday night, no, Thursday, Wednesday, one day, my nurse called me and said that the doctor had just popped into her office and said to call me and put me on this certain medication that's going to help bring my estrogen level down. And then this would help us have a chance to do a fresh transfer. So it's like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is like a miracle. Maybe this is what we're supposed to be doing. And I had already gotten used to the fact of doing a frozen transfer. So I was like, okay, this is great. So I call like 11 pharmacies, finally find the dang medication, get on it, take it, everything's fine. So I'm like real hopeful. And I go in and, well, we're excited. Like I said, we're happy. I didn't have a lot of stress at all. Like, honestly, I was ready. I was ready for the fresh. I was ready for the frozen. Either way, I was ready to see how many eggs we had and how many could turn into embryos. That was my focus. So we're going in. I'm laying on the bed. I'm just ready to go in. And when I get into the room to actually prep for the retrieval, I start feeling a little anxious. Because I'm like, it hits me, what if you don't have a lot of eggs? But then it's like, well, the doctor said I had a lot of follicles and they were pretty big. So I was just like on the fence of, okay, what's going to happen? And again, I do stress really well. Well, I mean, I guess I don't do it well, but I can handle that emotion. And so the lady, I guess, the anesthesiologist knew that I was starting to get a little anxious. So she was saying how she heard that I was a teacher. And so that really relaxed me because I was telling her about kindergarten, how I love teaching and all of my awesome kids. I was in the middle of a story and telling her about one of my kids when I started to go out. And I knew I was going out because I could feel like this warm, tingly feeling in the back of my head. So I was like, all right, let's do this. So I wake up and I'm halfway awake, and they're trying to get me to move over to the next bed so that they can wheel me back into the commons area. And the first thing I say when they wake me up is, how many eggs? And they start laughing at me and they're like, they're still counting. So I was like, oh great, that's awesome. They're still counting, so there has to be a lot. So we go in there, I'm in the commons area, I'm waiting, my husband comes in, and he's like, how are you doing? I'm like, this sucks, and it did. Honestly, y'all, the pain was wild. It was crazy. I felt so bloated. Honestly, I felt so bloated, it hurt so bad. But it started to go away, and I was okay seeing my husband, seeing the nurse. When I saw the nurse, because she wasn't in that room with us, I asked her how many eggs, and she just said, they're still counting. So I was like, okay, this is the good news. Until the doctor comes in. And he doesn't look very happy. So my heart drops. Like thinking about now, like my heart is like racing because I remember the feeling. It was just a few days ago. But I mean, it's just like, oh my God. My heart ached so bad because we've been prepping for this. I was set up to think that everything was fine. I had a lot of follicles. Everything should have been progressing well. The only thing that we had a problem with was my estrogen and OHSS, which I'm dealing with and drinking a lot of Gatorade. So I thought everything would be fine. And then he told us, well, he was a little disappointed that he was expecting, with what he saw in my follicles and my age and everything, that we would get like 20 to 30 eggs. And at that moment, we had 9. And, oh, my heart just like sank so bad. And that wasn't even the worst part. That wasn't even the worst part. Then he said, my eggs weren't good. So the eggs that they got weren't even great quality. Y'all, like, you can't do nothing about that. I mean, our next step would be donor eggs and donor embryos, which takes me and my husband out of the equation. It's somebody else's baby. And that's fine, but that's not the route we're pushing for right now. We want a chance to be parents of our own kids. And I'm sure my husband heard something different because he always says I hear the worst and everything. But I heard my eggs were bad. In my mind, I heard that even if we try this again, we're still going to be in the same situation. And my heart just ached so bad because it's like, I want my own kids. I want a chance to be a mom of my children. I want to see my husband and my kids. I want to see his nose, my eyes. I want what everybody else is entitled to, like, ugh, I didn't want to cry. That wasn't it, though. That wasn't it. So after he told us that, then he said because of my egg quality was bad, that they were going to be pushing towards ICSI or ISC, something like that, where instead of putting the eggs and the sperm in the dish and let them do their thing, they would have to inject each one of my eggs with his junk and, hopefully get some fertilized eggs and embryos that way because the quality of my eggs. And again, another punch in the stomach that it's me. It's me. I'm the problem. Like every time we go in, I'm the issue. How far are we going to get along in this before I get just knocked down completely? The eggs, it just bothers me because it's not like something simple we can work around. If my eggs are not good, then no babies. No babies that are ours. But that wasn't it. The ICSI wasn't it either. Then he said, I did have a lot of follicles. They were empty follicles, and actually what they were cysts. And on top of all the issues that I have going on with the endometrioma, my my ovaries, how I haven't told y'all this, I need to make a video on that. How ovaries usually hang down. Well, my ovaries are up. They're up. Well, they're not like up here, but they're like up in my stomach pretty much. So that's why we haven't been successful in having babies. Well, now my eggs too. And now what he said is that through IVF that they discovered that I now have or have had PCOS. Man, y'all, like, can I catch a break? It's been 14 years. Can this go easy? Like, that's all I kept thinking about. I was so mad at God. Like, why are you doing this to me? Why? I'm a good person. I work really hard. I pay my tithes. I do what I'm supposed to do. Why? Why is this one thing that completes my family? Why is that so hard? Like, I just had a hard day. I had a hard day on Friday, and I left Friday and I just cried. And my heart hurt so bad. All I kept saying is my heart aches. It hurts so bad. And we went to go see my mom afterwards because I needed to pick me up. You know, I needed some love, some support. And as soon as I saw her, I just cried so hard. Like, I cried harder than I've ever cried in my life. Like, I mean, like an aching cry. It hurt so bad because I thought the love that we have, I'll never have with my kids. And that hurt because I want that. I want that with my kids. And I know I could do adoption, and that may be in the cards for us, but where my mind is having my own babies. And that just hurt. So anyways, on to better news. So I mourned that whole Friday. I cried like a baby. And I just prayed, I begged, I bribed God, and I just said, Lord, just give us a miracle. Please just give us a miracle, or shut this down completely. Give me a sign of what I need to do, because getting my hopes up and falling like this is just too much. So on Saturday, we waited for the doctor to call, and I didn't sleep all night. I stressed, because I'm good at it, and I prayed, and I begged, and pleaded, and everything you can think of I did. And he calls, and I found this phone recorder that, you know, you can record, because again, I'm an obsessor too. So I was going to record the conversation that he had with me so I could understand what's going on. And he said that we have 11 embryos, 11 fertilized embryos. What? We had 9 or 10. Did we have 10? I think we had 10. We had 10 when we left. Yeah, we had 10 when we left, and we had 11 embryos. Y'all, that was amazing. So I was like, well, what do you mean? We only had 10 when we left. And he said, well, we found 2 more, and out of the 12, 11 fertilized. Guys, what a miracle. What a miracle. I was just like, oh my gosh. Okay, all right. So maybe we're on the right path. Maybe we'll be successful. So next steps here is to let them do their thing and just pray that, you know, they keep being strong. Now, it is expected that we're going to lose a couple, because that's how this process works. You lose, you know, there's a percentage that you lose from day 1 to day 3 to day 5. And day 5 is on Wednesday, and we will find out how many we have to freeze. So please, I'm running out of time here, so I need to hurry, but please, please, please pray for us, guys, as you already are. Keep lifting us up in prayer. And I have 11 babies right now. And I'm so excited, because for this moment, in this one moment, I have 11 kids. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I just hope we have at least 6 to freeze. So lucky number 6, because then we can go a couple rounds if the first round don't work. So please keep us in your prayers, and I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Catch you soon. Bye.